Signing on for today's lesson. And if you saw the quote for today, it said, "Some behaviors, if left unattended, will correct themselves." Okay, so do you have any situations that you deal with on a regular basis that you kind of feel the need to um, correct somebody or constantly ask somebody to do something? Can you make sure that you close that door when you leave that room? Please make sure that you pick up your socks out of the middle of the floor. Can you please not leave your shoes in the middle of the floor by the door? Can you please put the toilet seat down when you're done? Anything like that? Can you not leave your dirty dishes in the sink? Constantly reminding somebody or asking somebody to do something. I am convinced that some people, either on a conscious level, subconscious level, unconscious level, um, they like the attention that they get when they are constantly reminded to do something. Now, I don't know if that this is the case for everybody, but I think it's the case for a lot of people because for a lot of people, any attention is better than no attention at all. And so I think that sometimes when we do things like that or say things like that all the time, we're actually reinforcing the behavior that the person is doing. So if I have, for example, a child that constantly does something that I'm always telling them, like, stop doing that, stop doing that, stop doing that, stop doing that. I think there's something reinforcing in the fact that I keep saying, like, stop doing that. And that child will continue to do it because, again, any attention is better than no attention at all. So sometimes if we just kind of make known, what our wishes are, and then leave it alone and see if the behavior will correct itself, that we might surprise ourselves with the outcome that we get. And I think about an experience I had with my youngest goddaughter. She's now 7. And this experience happened. She had to have been probably 4 at the time. And if you talk to her mom says that she is expressive because she's one, if she hits her foot, one thing she does a lot is she accidentally bites her tongue. Um, but you're going to get a full meltdown. We're going to have tears, we're going to have sobs, we're going to have all of that. And they were visiting us. This was a few years ago when we first moved back to Tennessee, and they were visiting, and I was in my office doing some work, just doing some paperwork, and she was like, "Nanny, can I come in your office and color?" And I said, "Yeah, baby, come on in, you can color." So I gave her some markers and some papers and some paper, and she was sitting on the floor and she was just coloring. And so I'm doing my paperwork, and I'm just kind of keeping an eye on her out of the corner of my eye. And so she's uncaps a marker and she colors, and then she puts that marker to the side and she grabs another one. So she's good for a little bit. And then she puts a marker down and she stretches wide to reach for another marker. But when she does, she hits her head like on one of the table legs or desk legs. And she hits it like hard enough that it catches my attention. So I'm watching her out of the corner of my eye. I don't turn and go like, "Oh, are you okay?" I don't turn and say anything. I'm just watching her. And she has this initial like, I don't respond. And then she looks at me. I just keep like I'm doing my paperwork. She rubs her head and then she goes back to coloring. Because some behaviors, if left unattended, will correct themselves. I firmly believe that had I looked over and said, "Oh, is Nanny's baby okay?" and done all of that, we would have had the full meltdown, total and complete meltdown. But we didn't have it. I just kept doing what I was doing. She continued her coloring, and we went on without any issues. So think about those situations that you have where you find yourself like responding to or again making a request of somebody and the behavior just keeps happening over and over and over again. Change your tactics and see what happens. See if maybe just like not attending to it, ignoring it, not paying attention to it at all changes the behavior at all. It may work, it may not work. I don't offer any guarantees. I'm just talking from a lesson that I've learned in my own life. So give it a try, see if it works. If it works for you, let me know. I'd love to hear. Send me a text message if you have my phone number, or send me a comment to this video if you go, like, you know what? I tried that and it worked. He put the toilet seat down. I didn't have to say it. Let me know. I'd love to hear about it, okay? So that's our lesson for today. Some behaviors, if left unattended, will correct themselves. Hashtag life lessons, hashtag listen and learn, hashtag words of wisdom. Signing off.